Hello, welcome to another episode of Braids and Locks, Locs and Braids. You know what I'm saying? Sorry we couldn't keep up word. We said next week on the last video. You know, time took a little bit, but I'm getting older and slower. You know what I'm saying? Who you with? Who you with? What's happening, man?
Ain't got nothing to say, man.
Very good point. He be saying some deep stuff, especially at the beginning. Real deep. Did you catch that, man? All right, it was great. But we won't keep going on the series of talking about what it takes to be a man, you know, part of manhood. And again, you know, I would like to invite, if our strong sisters got some shorties that, you know, don't have a male figure, you know, bring them to watch the video. We think we got some stuff that, you know, can help them out, be important for them. So I said in the last video that this, you know, throwing them hands is a small part about manhood. But I didn't say it played no part in manhood. And this is where my brother's the expert, you know what I'm saying, anger management. Talk about it. Tell him.
That's a good point, Joe.
Very good.
You know what? I like the way he puts it. It does play a small part, but it's definitely a part of it. Not every situation calls for a fight, but there are going to be, especially in the world we're in today, some people to where you are going to have to let them know, as a man per se, and as a human in general, that there are some consequences for their actions.
Exactly. And I could have said that better myself. That was profound. There's two things that I want to talk about, the goals of fighting and the reasons for fighting. The hardest parts to learn about fighting. Now, number one, this video is not going to glamorize violence. That's not what we're about. Because there's a whole bunch of obituaries, a whole bunch of solid brothers that lost their temper and doing long time in prisons over fights. I am not going to sit here and advocate and tell you that it's a good idea to throw hands off the cuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Nevertheless, there's going to be times when it's necessary. What I need you to do when you think about fighting is get out of your head what you see on TV. I am boxing, I am kickboxing, UFC, any of that. This is not about glamour. This is not about ring card girls. It's not about winning a fight or getting cheers from the audience. Fighting is about two things. The first thing is about making your point. It's not about winning or losing. It's making the point. As long as you make your point, your goal was accomplished in fighting. The second thing which makes fighting difficult to learn for people is, when do you fight? You have to learn when and when not to fight. What requires a physical response and what doesn't require a physical response.
That's an important one.
Exactly. If you want to elaborate on that,
that's an important one. I used to be like that, to where every offense, in my opinion, deserved a level 10 response. Somebody accidentally bumping into you, somebody accidentally stepping on your shoe. But again, I like the way you put it. Every situation doesn't have to end in violence. That's very true.
You know, and our dad was a smart dude. You know, real smart dude. I don't know why it didn't pass down to me, but I'm working on it.
I didn't get it either.
oh, he got it.
I got this beard.
He got it.
Yeah.
Much better than mine. I can't.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know. You know, there's been a lot of big boy love out there. Thank you. I would appreciate that.
And we want to send a special shout out to all the teddy bear lovers out there.
Thank
we
you.
Appreciate
Talk
it.
about it. You know, the shoulders moving. Shoulders moving. Okay. All right, but that's for the end of the video. All right, but our pops would tell us that there's three places where you got to be a man and you have to be ready to use these. Number one is at home. Dad used to always say, if you're not a man at home, you ain't a man anywhere.
That's true.
Number two is at work. You know why? Because you have to go there every day. You have to deal with those people every day. Now, please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying go and fire off at work and get fired for violence. What I am saying is you have to let whatever situation know that that's a part of your problem-solving method, if you understand, if it don't get correct. Because who's going to go to work every day miserable, and that's what you eat?
Yeah.
The third place is, unfortunately, this is not about ego, but you have to understand something. If you're in a crowd of people, especially a crowd of people that you know, and you are disrespected on that level that may require a physical response, if you choose to do nothing, not only do you have a problem with that individual, you have a problem with every other individual that saw the disrespect and saw you do nothing. That's a welcome mat for them all to try you.
Man, that's deep. That's true.
Now, I'm going to put an asterisk on that one when I say that. That doesn't mean every public setting. It's specific public settings you can't take certain things. Okay, now, let's say a hypothetical. If you're driving in your car, someone cuts you off in the car, get out and fight?
No.
No, not at all. See, you're both the same. Not at all. You don't know what that person has in that car.
I just was saying that. I just was saying that you don't want to do that. We don't know what type of day that person has had. We don't know what they're carrying. It's just not worth that to me. Now, on the opposite side, let me say this, and I'm so glad you gave that example. Say he cuts you off, you get to the red light, now he gets out, he giving you the daddy tap on the window.
Again, as long as in your car, because I'm not saying what's right, I'm saying what the law is. The law says as long as in your car, you could go away. Now, if he blocks your access that you can't leave the car, okay, it's time for the it's time for the Wong Fu shoot.
I didn't even know you knew that.
I've been watching Jackie Chan videos for a long time.
I understand.
I can even speak Asian from, watching the videos, on the vertical flipping over.
Yeah, that's how you learn to speak Cantonese.
Ushimanake. Okay, but that's another thing. All right, but now if he blocks your escape, then that's totally different. It's time to get down. Jump around. Okay, but if you're still in the car and you can go, leave. Someone yells something out you in the car while you're walking, let it go. You don't know if there's 10 of them. You don't know if you're being provoked. One time, I'll give you a case in point. A dude screamed out nigger. White dude screamed out nigger at me. Not nigger. Pulled off. Now, he wanted me to follow him. I knew right then I wasn't following because you know why? That's leading me to a
trap.
I don't know where he's going to go. That type of stuff you let go. If you're in the mall, someone says something stupid, keep walking. It's not worth your freedom. Fighting is serious. It's not worth your freedom.
Let me just segue off there for a minute because that's how you know that God is not through with us yet. Because I, in my mind, now I proved your anger management comments true in the beginning, was fighting from the point the tap, was on the window. Which means I'd have to be riding with him to avoid that situation, but I'm trying to elevate myself.
I've had to calm him down many a times.
Let me say this, though. Just for the ladies that happen to be in the car with the men, this is my biggest thing with most movies, how they paint most women, predominantly in my opinion, no offense, African-American women, is for some reason when you said that example, I thought the first thing most females would do is start to
egg the guy on.
to start to be mad at me for driving off.
That's right.
Now, here it is, you would possibly be encouraging me to get into a situation to lose my life. What you gonna say at that funeral? He was a good man. I loved him. I sure wish I didn't encourage him to get out there and try to fight that man with that gun.
Most of the people encouraging you to fight all the time have never spent a day in jail. All it takes is one day in jail. I'm not talking watching Beyond Scared Straight. I'm talking you yourself being in jail, watching them bars close, and your freedom is taken away. It's got to be worth something. I got to either be a martyr for the Lord on the civil rights movement. I already got the civil rights clothes. You know what I'm saying? I got the civil rights suit on. You know what I'm saying? Or a good cause. But just because some idiot said something stupid that my pride couldn't let walk away, no. That's not worth losing your freedom.
And let me just say that's hard. Or at least that's hard.
For anger management challenge individuals.
Yeah. For people with those issues. Not me per se. But for all of us. But I can understand the difficulty in that. I really can. And you really have to be secure within yourself because I appreciate the way you said it. You have to have that security in yourself to know, okay, that's not worth me doing this. I like the way you said it. There are some extreme examples to where that is finally necessary for you.
You have to think, and this is why I say that. Once you get into your mind that fighting is not about the glory of winning a fight, and fighting is not about getting praise and stuff from other people or getting chicks. But fighting is about proving a point. There's a line you cannot cross of disrespect that I'm going to tolerate. Fighting is about proving a point. You're not going to bully me. You see what I'm saying? Then you understand how serious it is. Because you got to fight hard. You don't have to win. You have to fight hard. Sometimes when you fight hard, you win. Yeah. Sometimes when you fight hard, you still lose. But guess what? There's not a referee counting points. There's no judges out in the street. You see what I'm saying? So you may have felt like you lost because your jaw hurt, your nose bleeding, but the other guy may have felt like he lost too, even if he don't say it. So the point I'm trying to make is when you see fighting in those terms and it's that serious, you avoid it as much as you can. Look at nature. This is a classic point so you understand. This is how men deal with men. You ever see in nature when these big grizzly bears come by the river and they're trying to get in line to get the salmon? These big grizzly bears walk around. Boom, boom. They give each other a wide berth. I don't want no trouble. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. I don't want no trouble. And they give each other wide berth. You know why? Because they know if they get down, it could be their life.
That's true. So last resort.
Exactly. They know if they get down, they could be so hurt they can't hunt no more. That's what it is when you're men. When you're young, you heal quick. When you get older, you're laid up for a while. Talk to him, man.
That's it.
This is time to tell something.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, you got to tell something now.
Say something.
Yeah, you got deep stuff for this.
I totally understand that. Right. And thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
I'm on my sportscaster stuff. I don't know if you noticed that.
Breaker, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Breaker, breaker. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Caucasian voice. There you go, brother.
So, that being said, I appreciate that. I did not know that about nature. But let's be honest. If you're out there and you know what? If your senses are keen, you can tell the people who want that altercation. There was something you said a couple weeks ago, how the most boisterous person isn't always the one that's wanting to fight. The loudest guy in the room.
It's a ploy. See, guys that are loud, they're just like that barking dog. He ain't doing nothing. He's trying to hopefully mind screw you, right, to scare you because he's loud. The dog you watch out for is the one that don't bark, but just sit there with that low growl.
He just watch you.
Just watch you, the low growl. Better not pet that dog.
No.
Don't touch that dog. It's the same way with dudes. The dudes that are about that life, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to start nothing. They're just going to be quiet. They're going to say a real quick, short warning. Don't go there. However they say it, maybe some expletives. Better not mess with that guy.
Because we know you would be his third strike, and we just not willing to give that up.
Exactly.
We know that. It's just not.
Now, I'm going to explain to you why you have to be a man at home. If you have a family, even if you're by yourself, you have to live with yourself. If you run from conflict at home, or you show an unwillingness to get down when it's time to get down at home with the fisticuffs, especially with a stranger coming in your house, you're never going to be satisfied with you. Can you understand that? You can forget when a stranger says something out there because there's a whole bunch of rationalizations. But when you run at home and there's nowhere to run to, you're never going to be satisfied with you. You never run in your house. Doesn't matter. The only way you lose a fight in your house is if the other person kicks you out the house and takes your home from you. Then you lost the fight. Any other time, as long as you still stay in the house and the other dude leave, you won in my book. You go. You won. The same thing at work. You have to work there. That's how you eat. That's how you support your home. That's how you take care of your family. You can't run there. I'm not telling you to fight and lose your job from your boss. I'm telling you, you tell that person that's pushed you to the point that much, look, I'm not even talking no more. Why don't you meet me over here? Trust me, the look on his face when you say that, because truth be told, real fights, they're not a public thing. They're a private thing. There's nothing more intimate than a fight.
Send me your location.
Exactly. Exactly. Just like Khabib said, send me your location. Yeah. There is nothing more personal than a fight. You don't want no witnesses there. This is you and me proving the point. See, 99.9% of the dudes ain't about that life. See, now, please understand something. I'm not saying 99.9% of the dudes won't fight. I'm saying they're not about that life, because the majority of kids fight are emotional guys, males, never brought up with fathers or that positive role male figure that think if they're a good fighter, that translates to them being a good man. No, it just translates you to be a good fighter. You're still an a-hole.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the whole thing about them fighting is it's dependent on you not fighting them hard. See, if you get clipped to go, I'm gonna give you a key. I'm gonna give you a key. The first key is whenever someone's talking a bunch of smack and really coming and you know what's gonna happen, hit them in the nose. That's how you know if the dude's about that life or not. If you hit him real hard in the nose, because your eyes automatically water. He's not a coward because his eyes water. That's a natural response. But when he covers and goes back like that, he ain't about that life. He bluffed you. Now, when you hit that dude in the nose, even if he's broken, and he shakes it off and keep coming, you got hell on your hands. I'm sorry.
When he starts smiling back at your ass, then you know you got a problem. When he thank you, when he says thank you for that, then you know you got a problem. I'm going to try to come up with 5 just off the top of my head. When he smiles, when he thank you, if he offers to shake your hand, then you have a problem.
When he looks at the blood and really gets happy.
If he looks at the blood and licks his fingertips, that's where you run or call us immediately.
Exactly.
If he offers, number 5, if he offers to buy you a drink afterwards and starts to ask your schedule to whoop your ass next week, that's when you run as well.
And the bonus, if he's not even Muslim, but as soon as he says, Allahu Akbar, you really in trouble because stuff about to blow up.
You done.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, let that stuff go that bothers your pride, the simple stuff that people talk about. You know, road rage, don't get into that, kids. You don't want to go to jail. Don't do your best not to get in fights at school. It's not worth, causing grief to your parents, getting a reputation, because now they don't let the fights go. They call the cops off for that and try to give you a charge. When you're at home, guess what? 9 times out of 10, cops ain't coming. When you have a situation at work and you take them to a private place, 9 times out of 10, cops not coming. Now, the only time you have to worry about that is in a public place, but instead of 10 people thinking you're a coward, where everyone knows you about that life, it's worth the situation.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing to learn, I want to tell you, if you're just using these, you're not going to die from an ass whooping. No. The biggest problem is people are afraid of taking an ass whooping. That's why they're cowards and they're carrying guns and knives. Get your hand game up. Know what I'm saying? If it takes it, I ain't about that life. I ain't no gangster. Know what I'm saying? But I'll be damned if I won't prove my point. See what I'm saying? I'm not about that life. A bunch of dudes can whoop me. But every dude that fights me will know the point was made. See what I'm saying? That's what you have to be like. And once you lose that fear of an ass whooping, you can go through life. You're ready for any challenge.
Anything.
All right?
You're going to have to do a part 2 on that. I don't know if this is 3 or 4. There's going to be a bunch of parts on that.
We're going to talk another one about guys being too emotional. You know, how to control your emotions. How to take emotion out and make logical decisions. Because this is so important. There's a bunch of males out there, but they don't know how to be men. Okay? This is a good time, man. Thank you, my brother.
You're welcome.
Well, my brother's
This video was brought to you by Gin, because we drink it, and they paying us for it.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I got the Bombay. It's who you with. He be helping me get my shoulder groove in.
You going to kill him with the shoulder?
Oh, I'm going to kill him with the shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm saying
Always have to
on the
kill him with the
radio.
shoulder.
Yeah, the braids go.
Kill him with
Yeah.
the shoulder.
Talk to him.